All right. Hey, guys. Welcome back to an exclusive Miami Dolphins recap. I'm sorry I'm getting this out to you guys later in the week. We also have my podcast we do that comes out on Mondays or Tuesdays every week, so check that out with the Week 2 recap of kind of going through the league and what we think with my buddy Anthony. Right now, I'll have my buddy doing the recaps with me later on in the season when he is available again. But let's get right into it, man. I know that we're all excited. We are pumped for this season. We were pumped going in. There was a lot of hype behind the Dolphins. Week 1 was a thrilling victory, a shootout versus a team that is also, we assume, to be a Super Bowl caliber team that would be that could go deep in the playoffs. That was a playoff team last year with the Chargers, and we won. And we won on the final drive with excellent play from Tua. He won AFC Player of the Week. Headed into week 2, we knew it wasn't going to be easy. It never is easy playing in New England. We haven't won there a lot in history. We have split with the Patriots, but usually it's at home, but we did win there 2 years ago on opening day. I was there. And then this year we pull off a victory that was closer than it had to be. I think we all agree it didn't have to be that close. There were certain situations where, you wish you could have things back. I mean, momentum on that. You got to hats off to the Patriots defense and special teams call. If you actually see them break down the video of the blocked field goal, Bailey is actually the holder for the field goal. He is a longtime New England Patriot. He has a tell. He takes a deep breath and then turns his head when he's about to snap the ball. The Patriots knew that. They studied that. They knew they were going to block a field goal this week, and they used it on that play. So whether they were going to use it on our first field goal attempt or not, I don't think they wanted to. I think they were saving it, and I think they knew they were going to execute it. Pat McAfee actually breaks down the field goal block. So that was something that is kind of like I would say that's a coaching error on special teams. You got to get that cleaned up. You have to know that the Patriots know that he has a routine of how he snaps the ball, especially that he was with them for so many years. So that was a big momentum shift. At that point, we could have went up 20-3. We instead, it ends up being 17-3. The Patriots go down the field and they drive. And I believe on that drive, if I'm not mistaken, they don't end up scoring on that drive. That's the interception, I believe, to Xavier Howard. But ultimately, that drops us back into our own end zone, really, and we go 3 and out. And then we have to punt it to them, which ultimately leads to a touchdown for them. I mean, so second half, yes, we get the block field goal. We're still up 17-3. They go down 8 plays, but they're driving the ball a little bit, and then he throws the interception, and it's like, great. We're playing great. 3 and out. Didn't like the play call there. I think we passed on first down, ran it on second down, passed on third down. Would have liked to run it on the first down, make a little bit more room, then maybe pass on second and third. Maybe there's a different outcome. You want to get a first down, maybe 2 first downs on that drive at the very least. 3 and out hurts us. Obviously, that leads to the first touchdown on an 8-play, 58-yard drive. It makes it 17-10. And then on our ensuing drive on a second, it's first and 10. It's a first and 10. And we're at our own 45, and Tua throws the ball. He likes to take a shot to Tyreek Hill. It's extremely underthrown. It's the first really bad pass, I would say, of Tua's season, where you're like, what the hell was that? The first interception in week 1, if you rewatch the film, he actually just misses the throw. It airs out a little bit, but if he throws it inside, Burrows actually can shield off the defender, and he actually would have had his 4th touchdown in that Chargers game. That being said, this week, I don't like that call there. We're driving. We have the ball at our 45. It's 17-10. It looks like we're moving the ball a little bit. We could have played a little bit more conservative, run the clock out. Instead, you throw an interception. It gets them pumped up. And sure enough, we hold them to 3 plays and 3. Our defense shows up again and stops them. But so did the interception really matter? No, but you feel like we were in good field position. The next play, the first play, is a run by Mostert, and it's 24-10. And it feels like we have them back to where we were, up by 2 touchdowns. And then they have a great drive. 9 plays, 75 yards. They move the ball well, quickly too. Some big plays from Devontae Parker. And they score fast. And sure enough, on the ensuing drive, we have another mishap from our center to Tua. I actually, in the replay, it looks like that's Tua's fault there with the grab. So we got to clean up the snaps. We got to clean up the, whatever's going on with Connor and Tua. It's got to be cleaned up because that's 2 weeks we escaped it from really hurting us. And when you get down into bigger games later in the season against the Bills, you're not going to be able to do something like that against the Bills. You're not going to be able to do something like that against the Cowboys or any of these other teams that are juggernauts or, contenders at this point. So we got away with it, but we got to clean that up. But again, 2 little mistakes. Easily this could have been a blowout. So then we're forced to kick this field goal that's far. McDaniel even said in the press conference, hey, if it's 3rd and 1, if he gets that snap off clean and we run it and we don't get the first down, it's 4th and 1, 4th and short. He said he was going for it no matter what, which I like. And then you get the first down there, that pretty much seals the game. We don't get it. We miss the field goal. They drive down. You know what happens with Gesicki and the linemen. They fall short. That's the end of the game, 24-17. Again, the score, it was a little bit closer than it had to be. Let's say he even gets the first down from the lineman. There was like a 1:09 on the clock, I believe. What was it? There's a 1:06 left. Yeah, there was like a 1:06 left. They would have ran the clock. They had no timeouts. They would have spiked it. There would have been like 50 seconds left from the 35-yard line. Who's to say that they would have even gotten to the end zone? Our defense, I felt like, would have held up anyways. But you don't like it to get that close. Simple mistake on Tua there. But overall, game ball for me, if I'm giving it away to someone, Van Ginkel. Van Ginkel played unbelievable. I would have to say that was his second best game. That's probably the best game I've ever actually seen him have. All right? He played phenomenal. So phenomenal where you go, well, Jalen Phillips, take your time coming back. Because right now, between Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb and Van Ginkel, I would argue that he's had the best outing of them all. And now I'm not saying he should start. Don't get me wrong. He shouldn't start over Phillips, but he had 6 tackles, 1 sack, tackle for a loss, a pass deflected, and 3 hits on the quarterback. He was all over the field. It was like a little mini Zach Thomas for a little bit. Week 1, David Long Jr. only plays 17 snaps. People are like, what's that about? Is that because he's not performing well? Well, now we know that's not true because he was all over the field as well for the Dolphins. You could almost give him the second game ball. Look at David Long's numbers: 8 total tackles, 1 sack, a tackle for a loss, 2 quarterback hits. He was phenomenal. To know that we have someone that is going next to Jerome Baker, who is great at covering and blitzing, but now you have David Long, who's just kind of like the middle linebacker we've been missing for the last few years. We've had a Landon Roberts, great leader, is great at short. I mean, even in the Steelers game last night, he broke through the line and then stopped the runner right at the 1-yard line for no gain. He would do that every year, remember? On the next play, the Browns score a rushing touchdown anyways. So that was great that he would do those plays sometimes on 4th and inches or 4th and 1s when teams were going for it, which has already been seems like these other teams are going to be like doing quarterback sneaks like the Eagles now. But having David Long Jr. is such an upgrade. And now that you have Andrew Van Ginkel on the outside playing that well, when you have Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb and they need a little rest, you throw in another guy that could play at a potential of a Pro Bowler caliber player. So now you have depth at the linebacker position. And now that they've used Andrew Van Ginkel in ways where he's playing inside and outside, huge. Not only is he going to be great on special teams, he's going to be great for depth and in different packages where maybe we have 5 linebackers out there and only 2 inside linemen. Who knows? But it's looking very positive. The weak note of the secondary, Eli Apple getting burnt everywhere. I think we've all saw that. It's not something you like to see, but it was noticeably bad. It was noticeable that he was missing tackles. He was getting burnt. A lot of the plays seemed like it was his fault. I mean, Xavier Howard, obviously, he played great, had a couple penalties called on him again for the second week in a row. But Eli Apple is a sore sight for your eyes, if that makes sense. He just is. It's almost like I'd rather have Kader Kodu on the outside and maybe what's up with Nick Needham? Is he going to be healthy? Is he? We need him back. I'd rather just not have Eli Apple on the field. Maybe Cam Smith is still learning. Give him a shot. Maybe I don't know. I don't know what's going on with them, but I'd rather at this point see Cam Smith or hope that Nick Needham is ready to go and we have him in the slot and Kader Kodu outside until Jalen Ramsey comes back, because Eli seems like the weakness of the secondary right now. And the way Javon's playing, he's headed for his first Pro Bowl. I'll tell you that right now. If you go look at the league right now, he is headed for his first Pro Bowl. Right now, stats, tackle leaders. You have Javon Holland is 5 with 25 tackles. The league leader, you have Bobby Wagner on Seattle. He's got like 28 and he's second. Just a name that you would recognize. Javon Holland's got 25. Now, I said that in my podcast. That doesn't necessarily mean he's having a crazy year. It could mean that our run defense was so bad that they keep breaking through the linebackers that Javon is the last person to make a tackle. So that's why his tackles are a little bit higher. Is that true? No. If you go watch the film, Javon Holland is all over the field making tackles for losses as well, which we could go look at it right now. And you look at this from week 2 against the Patriots. You have Javon Holland's numbers. Here you are. You have him leading the team in total tackles is 11, tackle for a loss 1, pass deflected 1. So, he's getting back there, and he's all over the field too, and you could tell he's elevated a little bit through 2 weeks. Our defense is looking phenomenal, okay? They played in week 1, sure, the run defense wasn't great, but the pass defense wasn't horrible. And then this week they played great, especially when the offense put them in bad situations. They still held them, and they did a good enough job when it really mattered to win the game. 2 weeks in a row. You got to be happy with the O-line play. The O-line play is the best it's ever been, and I don't want to get his name wrong, but talking to someone I know with the team, our new offensive line coach is from San Francisco. He's a brand new coach on our team this year. I gotta think he's part of the reason they are playing so tight and so well. Okay, you have backup linemen. We don't even have to rush Armstead. I don't see Armstead even playing against the Broncos because we've played so well in the first 2 weeks without him. Why rush Armstead back? Save him, make sure he's 100%, and we'll use him when we need to, because right now the O-line's looking great. I maybe saw one mistake with Austin Jackson, which is shocking because at one point, I think we all agree we wanted him off the team. And now we have ironically, our own line problem is our center and the exchange between Tua and Connor Williams. So we got to clean that up, but Tua is getting the ball out fast. You're excited to see this. Listen, I know people are worried, like, can he stay healthy? He's going to stay healthy. He knows how to take a sack. He knows how to get hit. He got hit once. That's the first sack of the season. A sack is not what is going to hurt him. I mean, when he got injured against Buffalo 2 years ago, it was a blindside sack that crushed his ribs, okay? Both of the I'll say all 3 of the concussions last year, the Bills game, the Packers game, and the Bengals game, were when he was scrambling, trying to buy time, and kind of fell off the back of his foot or got swung around. If he's in the pocket trying to get the ball out fast, or stepping up in the pocket trying to throw the ball down the field, and he gets sacked, it's just going to be a rugged hit. But that's not what is going to send him out. He's not going to have those situations where he's rolling out and a defender pushes him after he throws the ball from buying time, and then his head whiplashes onto the surface. Those are the 3 times that he did get a concussion. I think that they're going to avoid those situations, and I think Tua is also smart enough to where if he is in those situations where he's rolling out or he's backpedaling, to throw the ball away before he's even in a situation where he's going to get knocked down. You've seen it happen a couple times this season already. He's thrown the ball away pretty quickly at the ground on certain screens and certain plays where he's rolled out. So that being said, I think we're going to be okay. And as each week goes on, we can relax a little bit and not have to worry about maybe him getting injured, because the way Mike McDaniel is setting this offense up is to be elite and protect Tua. McDaniel's job is he's telling these linemen, hey, man, blood is on your hands if Tua gets hurt. And they are not letting Tua get hurt. They are barely – I mean, he almost didn't even have to get sacked when he got sacked in last game. He's getting the ball out quick, and it's not only because of Tyreek and Waddle. I know that those are our two focal points in the offense, and those are the two guys that we need healthy. I think that would be a bigger loss if one of them went out, and we'll see what's up with Waddle. I don't think his concussion was as bad. It looked like he got up and walked off the field. But you got people like Craycraft and Burrows. They're on the same page with Tua. Some of Tua's best throws were to River Craycraft and Braxton Berrios. That over-the-shoulder throw when he steps up in the pocket right before, kind of right in the same place where Xavier Howard got the interception, that was one of the most beautiful throws I've ever seen Tua do. He kind of it was like a Curry shot. He kind of just laid it up. You saw him looking around, seeing if he had time, and then once he knew he had time, he lobbed it up, and I don't know if that was his first read. It looked like it wasn't, but it also could have been, because you know how Tua's great with his eyes, and he sends defenders off of other players. He sends the safeties off with his eyes. Then he had Craycraft. It gave him enough room that Tyreek's defender, whoever was covering Tyreek, didn't have enough time to come over and pick that ball off or knock Craycraft off his feet. Or, I'm sorry, Berrios. I think that was the Berrios over there in the corner of the end zone right before half that led to the Tyreek touchdown. One of the most beautiful throws. You got to love what Tua's doing. And I'm excited about what is going to happen in this Broncos game. I think that we all expect them to come back out and have a dominant performance, but you have to remember the Broncos are 0-2, and they have Sean Payne, and they have Russell Wilson, and they have some good defenders, and they have some good wide receivers that that were banged up, but ultimately they're desperate. And when a desperate team comes in, you cannot – it's a trap game almost. If this was later in the year, it would be more of a trap game because they would maybe not be in the playoff hunt. But right now, teams are desperate. You got a game like Chargers versus Vikings. It's going to be one of the best games of the week because they know whoever loses that goes to 0-3, and they're effed. So Broncos in the same situation. They just gave up a big halftime lead. They were up like 21-3 or something, or not at halftime, but they were up 21-3 against the Commanders, and then they give up the lead. They lose the game. You got to think that their backs are against the wall, and this is a must-win for the Broncos. That being said, it's our first home game. I don't think their defense is as good as the Patriots, and I don't think their offense could keep up with ours. And I think that we should easily be able to score 30 points. And we would have against the Patriots if it wasn't for a blocked field goal or maybe, an interception or some, bad exchange from Tua and Connor. We almost would have put up 30 points a game. And I think that as long as the Dolphins put up 30 points, I think it's an automatic win outside of maybe the Cowboys or the Bills or the Chiefs. Those are three games where it could be another shootout or you could lose. Who knows? But in a game we're supposed to win against the Broncos, do your job. Maybe it's a little low scoring because their back's against the wall. They play a little bit better defensively. But this still should be like a 27-17 game. We should win this. It's just not going to be a 31-7 game, which you would expect if the team is bad. And I don't think the Broncos are good, but I also don't think they're bad. But they've also lost to two teams that are, I would say, not in the top 15 with the Raiders and the Commanders. I know the Commanders are 2-0, but do I think they're going to be a playoff team? I don't know. Let's see how they play against the Bills. Are the Raiders going to be a playoff team? I don't believe in it. I've seen enough film in two games to be like, they're 1-1, but that's fine. This could be a 7-10 team. So, Broncos, yes, it's a little scary. I don't want to get excited and get out of our minds and jump on this train. Remember, it was just a year ago we were 3-0. We were 3-0 coming off a Ravens 6-touchdown game and the Bills game at home where it's going to be hot for the Broncos. So it was for the Bills, but we were 3-0 last year, and we were like, wow, this is huge. And if only we would have sat Tua for the Bengals game. But we were a little dishonest with what really happened to him, and karma got back at us, and our season changed a little bit. We still made the playoffs, but, man, if we would have sat him against that Bengals game, what would have happened? Who knows? Who knows? So let's not get too excited. Let's stick to the game plan. Let's beat the Broncos, and let's hit to Buffalo with a good game plan and try to win, man. Listen, even regardless of the Buffalo game, after that we have the Giants, who are very banged up. They lost Saquon, won't be back for that game. They lost their linebacker or defensive end. And then we have the Panthers. There's no reason we shouldn't be 5-1 at the very least headed into the Eagles game. Sunday Night Football. Which that's fun. That's fun. And then also fun note is it's Panthers, Eagles, and then Patriots again. All Alabama quarterbacks. Fun little stat. But no reason we can't be 5-1 headed into the Eagles game. Only if we pay attention to this game right here. You have to win this game. I know the first two games are huge. To start 2-0 on the road, last year's different, right? We're 3-0. We beat the Ravens. That was on the road. We win week 1 at home against the Patriots. And then we win week 3 at home against the Bills. This year, we start off 2 road games, LA, New England. That's crazy. That traveling, and we're 2-0. One of them was a prime time. Guys, that's big, man. To start off 2-0 with 2 road games, that's big. But it's even bigger if we win this game. Let's say we are going to lose to Buffalo. That doesn't hurt as much. We're supposed to lose that game. The Broncos game, we're not supposed to lose. But it's a very dangerous game, so they have to focus on that. Right now, Miami is the most complete team in the AFC. In the NFL, no. I still think, listen, the Cowboys have outscored their opponents 70-10. You can't argue with that. They're the best team right now. You could argue that the 49ers look really good too. And then you have the Dolphins. That's how I put it. Some other people are talking about the Dolphins being 2. It's just, it was uglier than I wanted it to be against the Patriots. That's why I put us at 3. We beat the Broncos, and it's a comfortable lead. It's a 27-17 lead. Then I'll go ahead and put us at 2, assuming the Cowboys are going to pretty much do their thing this week. Who are they playing? You got Cowboys at Cardinals. They're going to do their thing. Okay? So, Dolphins, Waddle should be good to go. We'll know by Friday. If Waddle's practicing Friday, he'll be playing Sunday. That's the go-to. If he doesn't practice Friday, that means they're sitting him out and he's not out of the protocol. We'll probably know more by the time this comes out. We'll know more because that will be a Wednesday practice. That's a sign. Hopefully Thursday we'll know if he's. But the tell is Friday. If he's not practicing, he's out. He ain't playing. That's just how they run the system. Okay, so but the rest of the AFC. I've watched a lot of the games. I think we looked like the most complete team. We're the only other 2-0 team with the Ravens. Ravens look a little shaky. It doesn't look smooth on offense. They lost their running back. OBJ's banged up. They got a great rookie who looks phenomenal. But other than that, I don't think they've beat crazy teams. It hasn't looked unbelievable. And I don't know. They got the Colts this week. They're favored by 8. We're favored by 6.5. I don't know if Anthony Richardson's coming, but the Ravens aren't. I feel better about the Dolphins than the Ravens, okay? The Texans, they took care of, but it was kind of a close game early on. And the Bengals don't look good, yet that game was very close. So 27-24, Ravens win. A lot of things are falling our way. I will say that, and it's shocking. It's actually just really shocking that if you wanted the NFL season to fall in favor for Miami Dolphins fans, boy, has it ever. I mean, Chiefs 1-1 don't look great. Chargers could end up 0-3. Steelers don't look great. Browns don't look great. Ravens are 2-0. They look fine. I'm not scared. Bills are 1-1, although they look like they're back on track. Jets have a long season ahead of them unless they trade for someone that shocks us. Bengals are 0-2. I know they went 0-2 last year, but right now, the Jags 1-1. Wasn't impressed by that. Right now, there's a reason all the sports shows are talking about how excited they are about us. So I am excited too. I think everything's coming along. I want to play a clean game against the Broncos. I'm excited. I want you guys to comment. Tell me what you think. What did you see when you rewatched the game? What are you hearing? What do you think? What do you believe? Are you excited? I've gone back and forth over the last couple of years with Tua. I'm fully on board. I see what he is now. I like his potential. Yes, he doesn't have the strongest arm. You don't need that, but I'm excited, and I want to hear what you guys think. So let me know. Make sure you like and subscribe and comment, and we'll see you next week.